Is Tucker doing this? Here's why.
All right, hold on. I can answer. He says their system's not very different than ours. Theirs actually might be better. Why would he say that? Maybe because it's true. Maybe people say things because they're true, Jon Stewart. Maybe not everybody is constantly manipulating their words and their thoughts and what they produce to try to achieve some goal other than just telling the truth about what's going on. Maybe Tucker Carlson is saying the things that he's saying because they're his observations, honestly. But we don't get that. We don't get that courtesy as conservatives. We can't just believe things because they're true. And it's a projection, right? These people don't believe anything, really, and everything they say is to fulfill some other purpose. They don't just say things that are true because the truth is anathema to their every belief. The truth is a poison to the entire body of their politics. So they never say things that are true for the sake of them being true. Everything has to be couched in some alternative, ulterior motive. But we just say things that are true and want things that are good. So when we say we want to stop illegal immigration, it's because we want to stop illegal immigration. To them, it's like, no, it's the Republicans playing on what they know to be the racist base, and they're playing on that to get power. It's like, no, maybe we just actually believe the things we say. That's an impossible thing to understand for somebody who never says anything that they believe and always is couching their statements in this double-speak deception. What am I trying to achieve? What am I trying to get? What goal am I trying to reach? And so what do I have to say to get that? Tucker Carlson says, I went to Russia and it was nice and lovely and seems very similar to America in a lot of ways, but seems to actually function a little bit better. And Jon Stewart's like, why? Why is he saying that? What ulterior motive does he have for saying what is true? You don't need an ulterior motive, John. This is what you don't understand because you don't deal with truth. You deal with persuasion and manipulation and deception. So that's the answer as to why he's actually telling the truth, because it's true. Hope I cleared that up. So let's go back to Jon Stewart here.
So then what they do is they lower the technology and I can get shit done. It's the same thing the agents out in Phoenix were doing and selling. We're going to let you be yourself. Now you're dealing with reality. It's where I've been the entire time. It not only is where I've been the entire time, but the FBI has known this. The FBI out in Phoenix most certainly did in regards to all sorts of shit. But they were doing this in regards to certain points. They were communicating to me, well, what we're doing, and this is not me thinking about their end of shit. In other words, in order for this to happen, I would actually have to be contemplating shit. And where I was with the FBI out in Phoenix, I was deliberately not thinking about all sorts of shit. You act like I have no control over my own brain here. They did not understand the bigger picture, and I understood how this was all going to end when I was out in Phoenix, but they were doing the exact same thing with different points. They were affecting me and then clearly selling behind the scenes to you, well, he can't deal with reality. I communicated this out in Phoenix. Actually, they're just hijacking me and affecting me heavily. This is why I got angry in the video last night. What part of being affected heavily do you not understand? Furthermore, this is in regards to Horvat hiding journal entries and affecting me in regards to not giving Simone journal entries, you know, proving they're guilty of unauthorized murder, LJ in regards to all sorts of shit, and the FBI here. The point is, there's no being delusional or misremembering being affected so heavily when they do this shit. And you just go throwing out basic reality, which I've just pointed out to you, and you go, well, it must be he's misremembering stuff. No, I'm speaking the truth, and this is how you can know I'm speaking the truth, but you just can't handle it. You're like my parents. But the point is, they're lying. I'm not in denial of reality. Agents and agencies are. I've known where I've been. The FBI didn't find out about this till goddamn August. I've always known, based on how they're lying, how this is going to end. They've maintained their lies, so then they've got to get rid of me. That's where we're at. They didn't change basic realities here. All they do is affect me with their technology viewpoints for selling you a lie. Furthermore, they're selling it's about false hope, and the reality is I'm just hijacked heavily and extremely, you little asshole. Then when I tell you this, you can't believe it, because if it is real and true, man, you got a dangerous mess on your hands. It's just denial all the way, from little boys and girls wearing agency badges and pretending to be something they aren't. You can't put yourself in my shoes and realize, well, if it was me and this is how it is, there's no way of being mistaken, you asshole. 21st of February, 5:23 p.m. So now they're hitting me up with computer programs that gives them deliberate fake answers. This is really what they were doing all the way back in Phoenix. But now they've got a computer program that's set up for doing it. It just gives them automatic fake answers. Quite literally, they attach false viewpoints. There's nothing real about it. It's just a scripted viewpoint. So my camera filled up. I don't even know if I got to record or how much it recorded. Yeah, they're hitting me up with these computer programs for getting fake answers. It's the same shit Horvat used. Horvat was using these computer programs, getting the real answers for me, and then passing this shit off, the fake technology answers, as being real and true. So it is with a deliberate fake perspective and viewpoint every single time they hit me up. So they're passing off technology shit which is deliberately fake to you, and behind the scenes, they're collecting the real answers for me. This is what went on the entire time with Horvat. Boy, y'all never listened at all. But that's what the FBI is hitting me up with now. So, in other words, if they lie, and just the more they do, the more you believe. That's rather the point. The more they do and get away with, the more delusional I am for telling you what it is they're doing and getting away with. Fuck you. February 22nd, 9:26 a.m. Wow. So I'm just waking up, looking at this video I did. I've got to remove some technology effects, go figure, or not. I'm still checking it. And but there are some technology effects in there. And one of the things I came to realize, Jurgen, wow, you guys are amazing. You don't actually understand where I'm at in terms of my understanding of agents and agencies. Boy, are you all stupid. You've been sold some version of me like the way I am is the way I was in stalking before I came to Germany. Boy, you're stupid as shit. So you've never seen me where I actually am in terms of my understanding of agents and agencies and stuff. You know, I bring up in this video, the video I'm looking at, I'm maybe doing one last edit here with it. But the thing is, I bring up this thing about Tina, and the agents in Phoenix had brought up, well, we did it to trick German agents, to bury the needle with them so that they don't understand there's a cover-up going on. And they apparently didn't understand. Well, they did and they didn't. I can't say that one. But the point is, they actually told you what it is they did and why they did it. This is the one I get that you do not. And they actually told you. That is what I will say. And then you're amazing. But the entire point is, the one that I get that you do not, is that is actually what they did with you and Beata and your agency. You go, well, they wouldn't be telling us this if they were actually doing it that way. This is how Horvat's been the entire time. Yeah, actually, that's exactly what they did. The next point is, what I gathered from this is clear. I started to realize I got there differently. But what set off my thinking here was looking at this video. I don't actually know if it was this part about Tina. No, it wasn't. I got there differently. But somehow it ties in with this. I think this was just a good example. This was a good example for using, I think. That's what it was. But the point is, it takes 2 seconds for me to figure out why the FBI did that. And that's back then in March when she was murdered. In other words, if I had spent just a couple of seconds thinking about it, I could have got there on my own. Now, they were affecting me very heavily, and I was focused on my end of shit, and I did not really, I was in a different space because of where I was at mentally, and, hang on, every time I try and speak about this shit, they start affecting me, and you believe that it's me. That's to sell to you that I'm inventing shit, and that's not how it's been the entire time away. I've spoken the truth, literally, the entire way here, you idiot. So, hang on. Right, left to my own devices, if they had not been affecting me heavily, I would have figured it out from the get-go. That's shit that normally takes 2 seconds to do. They were affecting me very heavily, actually, because they were worried about you and Beata waking up there at the beginning. So I was being affected very heavily, and I don't think he ever knew the truth of this. What they're doing is affecting me so I couldn't speak out. That's why all the information you're getting now is just late. I could have given this shit to your agency ages ago. So it seems to me that you were sold technology is me, and then when I'm myself, you think they gave it to me, they're doing it with technology, so you've literally been reversed in regards to where I'm actually at, and this makes total sense. I knew that Horvat was hiding me in the level I'm actually on from your agents and agency the entire time. So, and that's how I got there. That is what I was looking at just a little while ago in the last half hour, and then I got to Tina as the example. Point is, I didn't need them pointing that out to me. I easily, even though they had a lot of technology on me, if I just sat down and started thinking about it, I still would have realized it, in just a couple of minutes. A minute. The point is, it's not something difficult. So then what they did is they sold it as they gave that to me, and then I speak about it, and you don't get the point. The point was they had actually done that and were actually awake in regards to my psychology. And the reason why they had done that was to trick you and Beata and your agency. They literally got you to murder Tina to trick you into believing that there's no investigation going on. That was always the entire point. If you want the agency level, that is it. This is how I am the entire time noting people. They haven't told you the truth about a goddamn thing here. They've passed it off as delusional. Actually, everything in the file labeled delusional is real and true. Do you think Horvat and our officers didn't know the perspective of me and Monica? While they were lying to your agency, they sold it as, well, I was tricked. I'm incorrect. The funny thing is you all think I've got some kind of obsessive-compulsive thing with being correct. You literally think that's like some kind of, this is what I see, this is what Horvat sold you, this is what you do not get. I see the lies you've been sold here. How do you think I get there? You're just believing shit that's invented. That is how I get there. But the point is, Horvat sold that to you, but your whole thing is you go making yourselves correct out of shit where you're actually incorrect in the first place. Do you understand the meaning of the word? So you were going, well, we knew about the bake. Yeah, I knew what Horvat was doing to you and your family. Look at it from the point of view of me and Monica. I should have been freed. We both knew it. And we couldn't understand that. There was no way to think that we're supposed to assume your agency is sloppy and incompetent and just went along with all of it without finding out. Give me a break. That's the point. The story's real and true. We had only our experience to go on. But look at how you labeled it all. You just focused on, well, we know about everything in the file. You're incorrect. And I was incorrect. But you did not understand why it is that I thought that in Monica. It doesn't change the fact that Horvat deliberately held me in stalking and lied to your fucking agency. So this is the point. You don't put anything into real perspective. You just go believing what you want to feel to believe, and you're supposed to be paid agents. But you think Horvat couldn't have explained the real perspective to your agency? Did your agency know this? Doesn't look like it to me, man. You're just sold, well, we're both delusional. So that means Horvat did not pass on. Boy, this explains shitload. She didn't pass on what I found out about the FBI, I bet. She did and she didn't. I think maybe she hid some shit. Because she took my autobiography, which I was doing in 2005 and 2006. It's how I put the cover up together. Since she's been selling I'm an Idiot, it seems like maybe she sold that as she did it. Boy, that one's a load of shit. They only brought up a couple of points. In 2006, after Horvat revealed this technology, I was working on my autobiography, and I could feel them affecting me with technology a couple of times in regards to a couple of points. But other than that, I put the whole thing together. But it does make me wonder, because I see she's lied about my intelligence all over the place. That was one of the things I was saying on cassette in 2012 to German agents. I was saying clearly my intelligence levels being hidden, and how I actually am and operate here in regards to agents and agencies and stuff is being hidden from German agents. I was stating this on cassette. I was saying clearly you do not understand where I'm at here, because if you did, you would be taking me seriously in regards to what I'm saying about Horvat and her officers. So then this explains why you think I am copying agency tactics. There's no truth to that at all. You all are a bunch of fuck-ups. This is what you don't understand. I've watched you all make your mistakes the entire time, you idiots. It is how I've learned everything, watching you all fuck up. So you've been you've been lied to more enormously than I ever realized. This explains why these idiots out in Phoenix thought I was reversing things, and I was like, that's ridiculous. You don't even see me doing it. And they're like, well, it must be just so automatic or something. You know, hello, you start inventing things that are so far out in regards to my psychology, you're like a crazy person. The truth is simpler than what you've chosen to believe. But that explains why they thought I was reversing everything. All I was doing was pointing out the truth based on real memories and real experience. That's the entire point, and real observations. And they couldn't understand that because they didn't want to believe that Horvat and her officers had lied and that the CIA had lied. So I'm trying to think of wording which describes you and your agency here. Only wording I can think of is pathetically stupid. You've thrown out basic realities yet again for your viewpoints. Basic realities is how I measure everything around me. This is one of the things they're worried about. You start understanding how I measure things around me, you're going to understand I do my shit better than you do. I was good before I got put in the gang stalking. I didn't get worse, I got better. How stupid is anybody? That's one more I was bringing up on cassettes. Reason why it comes up again, I'm not remembering cassettes. It's just basic common sense. That is why. You don't get a damn thing about the points I bring up? No, nothing. You're amazing. Reversing shit is how you've made all of your mistakes in the first place. And I mean, every group of agents I've dealt with, reversing stuff does not give you the truth. That is meant as an aid. It's not an absolute. Mother Mira didn't become enlightened reversing things. My path is not about reversing things. The one I've learned, which you don't begin to get, is that is the absolute way to fucking up. That's what everybody's done here. You have an incorrect thought, and then you go about me in the first place, then you go reversing it, and then you do all this shit to me based on all of that. So you don't know what in the fuck you're talking about. I've literally gotten to where I am at based on watching and witnessing everyone fuck up the entire time and way here. It is what the book is about. You have accused me of using your tactics like I'm somebody from the alternative media. I see this is how they play people in alternative media. They'll point some tactics out to them and point out how they do their stuff. And, well, that's not really being objective and this and that. And really, they're just conning people from the alternative media and trying to play people with their egos, show them a couple of agency magic tricks, and then everybody gets kind of egotistical on board with the FBI and thinks, yeah, okay, I'm objective. I'm, with the FBI. And, and I've seen this, from going all the way back to when I was first put in gang stalking. They try and play people with egos and their magic tricks here. And that's not how I am at all. It's never how I have been. All of my stuff has been here on observation and experience and observation. And I don't know what you got in your file about before I was put in gang stalking, but the FBI, the reason why they're fucked is I knew they were going to be entering my life before I even spoke to my ex from 30 years ago, the one that lied for the FBI. So you've been sold an extreme cartoon version of me. So, but that puts a question mark in regards to how much you have in the file about the FBI and what I figured out in regards to the FBI while I was dealing with them. Hang on, I got a fire going here, but it's not a fire, it's just smoke. I was saying to you all the way out in Phoenix, I do shit from the ground up, and the agents out in Phoenix would not let me speak about this. It's the same thing in regards to many, many, many points. I don't have a hard time explaining myself. I never do. But when I'm trying to explain myself in video for German agents, that's a different story. This has been going on the entire time and way. I said it to you repeatedly, and I kept telling you to tell them to take the technology off of me. This is how they've gotten away with tricking your agency the entire time and way. It's because you've agreed to my being affected heavily the entire time. I'm not reinventing the past. I'm only getting to speak about it for the first time in regards to all sorts of stuff. And I got 1,000 cassettes in here. So I'm going to dig some of those up. And I'm going to put stuff that I was making notes about. And you'll see the real level. That's 2012. That's 12 fucking years ago, pal. So let me explain the circumstances to you. They have lied to you. And it's all about relations with Germany. And relations with Germany have never been good. What was it, 2008? Somewhere around there, the head of the CIA for Germany got kicked out of Germany by Germany. So, that's what this is all about. And it's a great, big, dangerous mess. They've handled everything incompetently. So I am literally going to be getting my book out. I'll be standing out on the road. I'm going to be doing all sorts of shit here. And then they're going to have a problem with it and come at me, and that's when the conflict begins. You go on believing your fairy tales here, which have been sold to you by your homies. And in the meantime, I am living my life, and I'm going to deal with these people on real terms here. This is criminals, and this is about criminals, period. So when they start breaking the laws here and start coming at me, they're going to have consequences down the road here. They're balls to the walls criminal, and none of this is real. The only ones it is real for are people who never double check their shit. It's amazing when I think about the whole time. It's like when you were with me, you thought you were with the guy from the Terminator movie. So you literally do not get one goddamn thing about me. And I mean nothing. That's the one that disgusted me all the way back in Phoenix. I was like, holy shit, neither one of them ever even knew me. They not only didn't know me, but they just believe all sorts of crazy shit about me. And I had no idea. I thought you'd been told more about my profile than what you had been told. That I've been lied to this heavily and extremely was beyond my imagination. But everything you and your agency believe is invented. That's why the FBI, when they come at me to try and keep you and your agency convinced, they're going to have all sorts of problems. I get what reality is. I get that they've put themselves into a corner here. And this most likely will end up with my being murdered by the FBI, and I could care less. That is everybody else's problem. You're guilty of fucking up, you and your agency. American agents and agencies are guilty of being deliberate. That's the difference. You know, your agency didn't even perform as Horvat would have. You didn't perform as LJ did. There's one you don't know about. I realized from the very beginning LJ was snooping around. I don't think he questioned me. I think he questioned Horvat. I think LJ dealt with hardcore psychopaths before, and I think that's why he did that. Or he was just being professional and double-checking. But the point is, Horvat would have double-checked, but that has to do with her own psychological issues. She doesn't want somebody like herself tricking her and burning her. Me, I would have double-checked because I want to know for sure what reality is in the first place. And the only way you know that is by double-checking. That is from the ground up. You got to find out, get information, and then assess reality from there. It's how I view everything around me. This is why I have the understanding of the nature of reality that I do. Agents out in Phoenix are like, well, we're just going to sell it to German agents. You can only be this way when you're sitting down and writing your book. That's a load of shit. That would be like, this is what I mean. This is how extreme the lies are, yet you can't wake up to them. That's like saying David Icke can only be where he's at with his consciousness when writing books. He knows that one's a lie. But you don't, and you're a fucking German agent. So then ask yourself, where do you think I'm at with agents and agencies here, and my understanding of agents and agencies? Man, you've been sold a load of shit in regards to me. You don't get it. It's a lot of extreme, just balls to the walls bullshit. You know, I've been angry because you believed I'm an agency threat. Wow. That's what I've been angry about. You quite literally, it's because of what you believe you're going along with them holding me and stalking, but they're lying to you. That's not an excuse anymore for the FBI or yourselves. But the point is, it's so far removed from reality. This is why Monica is a witness. You got no idea. Everything you believe is an enormous lie. But this is why I've been angry about that. You believe something that's fake, so therefore I've got to stay in stalking. That's not the way shit works here. Oh, I've got to stay in stalking because the FBI is lying to you and the CIA. Fucking forget it. That's not how shit's working here. So that's how, you know, the entire way I've seen the FBI lying. I already knew they've lied themselves into a corner. Tina's a perfect example. And I already knew how shit's going to play out here. This is not me remembering. This is where I've been the entire time. It's on the FBI and the CIA to clean their shit up and for you to wake up, not on me. But posing me as an agency threat has always been an extreme lie. And that's the one the FBI gets that you do not. Going all the way back to Phoenix, now they're wiping the point, going all the way back to Phoenix, I was noting, well, what they're doing is they're pushing in technology viewpoints and technology emotional states and then selling that as being mine. And because they're selling it as being mine, they just keep holding me in and trying to slowly get things there. And supposedly that's where we're at here now. And to you, they've been selling, well, we're pushing in reality and he can't handle it. But when it gets there, he's going to have to deal with it. You see, this takes 2 seconds for me to figure out. It's not agents and technology, you little retard. So the point is, literally, this has all existed based on where I am not at. And it's not based on reality either. All of that is for tricking you that it's real and true and that I'm in denial of reality. Actually, everything's been reversed with you. Your balls to the wall, stupid. So then when I bring up the word reverse, you think that means I'm practicing an agency tactic. You're once again balls to the wall, stupid. No, actually, I'm sitting here in the middle of real circumstances. I see that's what they've done, and I see it's opposite of reality, you fucking retard. And that's the problem the agents out in Phoenix were running into. And they were amazing. They thought, well, he has to be inventing instant memories, false memories. So again, you now go assuming an extremely, quite frankly, it's delusional. You go inventing a theory. It's like believing in Bigfoot and space aliens here, except those are real and true, so we'll have to pick something else. It's like believing in unicorns and, three-headed dragons, all right? You go believing something that's more far-fetched than reality. That's the point. Furthermore, because of your mistakes, you go dumping it on me. This is where it's been the entire time. So, Jurgen, this is me taking a look at the computer program they have set up for giving false answers. This goes all the way back to Horvat. This is one you don't know about. I'm sure I've got some of this shit on cassette. So, you just tell them, don't go along with the cover-up. Since I've got nothing to prove here, I'll take a look at cassettes, and I'll be proving all sorts of shit to you here. Try not to fuck it up. You've already gone with proof stolen 2 times by your agency. So you can totally go fuck yourselves. So this is how this works. They have a computer program and they push in it's false context, it's false viewpoints, and typically false emotional states. And then what they do is they hit me up real quick and squeeze an answer. They do what I call a brain squeeze. It's an expectation of what I will say. Basically, I get impulsed into saying something. And then what they do is they take that and they say, well, that's the real version. That's the real version. That is reality, and he's in denial of reality, and his real psychology is based on that. Now, the one that you do not get, which I do, going all the way back to Horvat, Horvat is selling the fake answers, the technology answers, as being mine, my, quote, real psychology and real and true. And then behind the scenes, based on them knowing my real psychology, this is the key point, which they usually follow up with in regards to questions and stuff. But the point is, based on my real psychology, they get where I'm really at and where I'm coming from. So there's a fake level, which I've been saying the entire time, a fake narrative. I did a diagram for your agency, and you're believing the technology shit, and you've got it all connected based on a psychology I don't even have. You're smoking the technology effects. But behind the scenes, agents and agencies, they know my real psychology, and they've got a separate file in which they're noting real me and my psychology and where I'm at in regards to things and what they're doing. And that's what that technology computer program is for. It is designed for giving fake answers. It's based on a fake psychology. It's based on non-existent circumstances, and on. Affect me with emotional states not mine, viewpoints not mine. And again, it's just the entire thing is, it's even fake on a technology level. And this is what they've been selling to you from Phoenix all the way here. And the reality is, all you do is get fake answers. I've quite literally just explained the computer programs and what it's all about. This is the level I'm on. One of the first things I was speaking about on cassette in 2012, one of the first cassettes I did for your agency, Jurgen, I was saying I don't think Horvat was telling the truth about where they're at with this technology and where I am at. I could see that Horvat was selling a dumbed-down version to German agents and that the real level was here. And that's what that shit's about. So it's 11 in the morning here. I'll give you a perfect example right here, live time. So now they're just hitting me up nonstop about cassettes. And it's all about inventing an excuse for taking the cassettes. If they're going to take the cassettes, they're going to take the cassettes. This is where I've been the entire way. I'm not making a game of shit. If you want proof, I've got proof on cassettes. You want to let them take the proof, then knock yourself out. That's where I'm at with your fucking agency. You've already done it 2 times before. Your balls to the walls is amazing. My being affected heavily has always been about a cover-up in the first place. It has always been about preventing me from being able to give your agency the information in the first place. Furthermore, I've had proof multiple times. I'm not copying or imitating agents and agencies. You all are sloppy as shit. That's the one I get that you do not. Furthermore, the one I finally get here is you don't even do shit the way that I do. I mean, I got it back when I was with Horvat because people did not do shit the way that I do. That was in 2012. I finally realized, well, you all didn't begin to perform intelligently. You didn't perform the way I would have. And my reasons why is the other end of it. Point is, based on your decision making, I can see the psychology behind the scenes here. And, but I realized, well, stupid people think they're intelligent, and I realized, well, I'm intelligent, and I thought people would perform like me. And this is quite literally the Kruger and Dunner effect, the gist of it, which was formulated and came out into the public in 2013. And this is something I came up with. Hello? So that was one of my key realizations. You don't understand where I'm actually at. So the whole time I've been saying Elon Musk and Anthony Robbins, you haven't gotten it one goddamn bit. And those are key profile pieces. That's why in Phoenix, I was saying things where you see a dip, a spike, in regards to my profile. Those are extreme lies about my profile. This goes all the way back to 2002. I'm known for having a lot of street smarts, for surviving, being intelligent, but then all of a sudden you choose to believe a lie about my intelligence, in that if I'm free, I will somehow be attacking agents and agencies, like I'm my mother. Hello? So you threw out my real profile and chose to believe an extreme lie instead. This is why I brought this up with you in Phoenix. Furthermore, that doesn't begin to be the only place where you've thrown out my real profile for your fantasy. So you think the FBI's got a mess here? Furthermore, Monica knew exactly where I'm at. That's how she knows that Horvat lied and was holding me in based on what Horvat wanted. How do you think it was for Monica? Plus, she had personal dealings with Horvat herself and her officers. And the whole time, she knew what it was we were in the middle of and dealing with. And then you turned around and labeled her delusional and a threat to agencies also, and threatened to put her in stalking, agreed to her being tortured, her father being murdered, you name it. You're fuck-ups. Furthermore, you agreed to all of it without double-checking anything. And that's the one that you don't get about me and Monica when we were going through all of this. We were supposed to assume you're balls to the walls, sloppy, incompetent, and balls to the walls beyond anybody's imagination in regards to stupidity. This is about your cheap beliefs in the world that agents don't lie to agents. Furthermore, this is the one you don't get. If you were to actually wake up to my real profile here and actually understand I'm walking this enlightenment path, and that it's just extreme lies being sold to your face. This is what I'm angry about. You're such a little kid about this shit. You're like, well, there's Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is real. They're wearing the costume. You're not paying attention to a goddamn thing here, and you are a paid agent. You are a waste of money is what you all are. But you did not think about it. You put zero thought into any of this, and You haven't even considered that this might actually be real and true and going on. You go labeling everything with superficial stereotypes. It's all the same. Actually, the circumstances for each of my books was different. You can get it all down to one common denominator, freedom. And this being over and ended has been based on everybody's mistakes in the first place. But the circumstances and things going on in my psychology were different each time. You just go labeling it all as Jew and black and this and that. There's no truth to that at all. But that is how you look at things. You look at things superficially and from an outside level. You're not doing this from the ground up and where I'm actually at. You've quite literally understood nothing about my psychology the entire time and way. And furthermore, the entire time I was with you. So, since they've got nothing to hide, I'll just start digging through some cassettes here and put some cassette sound bites on video for you. It's real simple. Because they're lying so heavily to your face, they do one of two things typically. They sell it as, well, it's the technology, he's confused, or they dump it on me in my fake profile here. They say, well, he's delusional, he's reinventing the past, this and that. That's the one the agents out in Phoenix couldn't figure out before they woke up. I was like, well, that's impossible. You're accusing me of instant fake memories. That's not even possible. So everywhere you run into something that proves the truth, you automatically are in instant denial and you just go on stereotypes. Agents equals truth. That's not the truth at all. Actually, common sense equals truth. What if you were in my shoes and this were real and true? Just do the math from there. You never did that much. That was one of the things that pissed me off about you and Beata back in Phoenix. The reality is this is simple to do, and nobody's done a damn thing here in regards to considering reality and what's really going on here. Oh, and I'm sending these videos off to goddamn all sorts of people. I've got to edit this last video, and that's that. I'll be posting it and this video. The Disneyland is finished, and I'm going to be handing out flyers and shit, so people will be looking at some of these videos. Videos I do for you, I may make private, but other people are going to be looking at these as well. That's it for your everybody's Disneyland here. And I just see what the FBI does. I may make these, I may post these publicly. That's the point. Based on where you all are at, you all are dangerous. And that's the point. That's the most important one, is all of you are so stupid, you're dangerous. And you've assumed all sorts of fantastic shit in regards to my profile. You've never understood where I'm at. You want to know what I mean by I act purely? It means I don't have ulterior motives in regards to what I do. I'm always honest with myself about what I do and why I do it. That's how you can know that they claim they're hitting me up with background thoughts. And this is what they're getting. That's how you can know that they're lying about it. I don't have ulterior motives. And I got rid of this a long time ago. If you understand this, you understand I operate very differently from everybody else in the first place. This is why my profile is so different from most people's, the same way that Horvat's is different from most people's. You know, this goes all the way back to me and Horvat. I realize she and I are at opposite ends of the spectrum here. You just don't get that I'm there. You think I'm like you or, you know, all sorts of people out here. That's not true at all. This is what the FBI is hiding. The other one I get is that you've thrown out common sense all over the place for your viewpoints. And you've done it because you just go labeling everything delusional about me in the first place. So it's amazing. You just don't even use common sense in regards to all sorts of shit. You invent a psychology I don't have rather than understand the common sense of what it is I do and why I do it. Here's another good example. 3 cover-ups now, 3 different groups of agents. Horvat and her officers who are rogue. Then, okay, they're hijacking me. Okay, this is, at least I'm getting to bring this up more or less in real time now. That's one more you don't understand. They sit on me so that I don't bring up I'm being affected at times. This is how they got away with shit in 2012 with your agency. You're amazing. That was one of the things I realized. I realized Horvat had affected me in small ways for trying to convince you of a psychology I don't have. It's the same shit the FBI was doing out in Phoenix. And I was conscious and aware of this the entire time. I told him, I'll just do a video of you affecting me, all the places you affected me in video. I take mental snapshots of all of this. But the point is, we've got Horvat and her officers, rogue. Then we've got LJ and his officers. LJ was sneaking around, snooping around, poking around. And so that told me a lot about LJ right from the very beginning. You know, at least somebody double checks their shit. And then we've got the FBI here. And you go, well, it's just the same delusional story. Boy, are you stupid as shit on that one. No, it doesn't begin to be the same with any of them. You just superficially label it that way, all Jew, all black, and that's that for you. That's the point. You don't actually, the way you arrive at truth is not how you can determine truth in the first place. You've done this the entire time and way here, you and your agency. They're wiping my memory. Hang on. Your entire approach here, the entire time, step, and way has been from the outside in. You're way out here, very far removed from reality. And the reason why is you label things superficially and you connect them all together and say, well, they look the same, therefore they are. They don't begin to be the same. That's the entire point. You could take my psychology in regards to any one of those books, and it's different. I'm coming from somewhere different. I'm constantly growing and changing and evolving. I outgrow my old psychology. I'm constantly improving myself for the better. It's been the same thing here with agents and agencies. I have not imitated or copied you idiots. Actually, Horvat sold that and hid where I've been the entire time and way here. I have noted everything they have done in regards to lying and manipulating, and this is how I've learned all of your agency tactics in the first place. Furthermore, I've not only learned it by watching them lie to the public, but by lying to agents and agencies. Last point here, Horvat dumped her profile on me. I saw this back when I was with Horvat, and the point is I see it now, and I'm looking at the past, and I see this also with Horvat. And the point is I just get there all over again based on reality in the first place. It's based on observation. That's why they can affect me or block memories and stuff, and I'll get right back to it. It's based on reality. It's not based on lies you've been sold. But it's clear that Horvat's dumped a lot of her own profile on me. My fucking, the FBI here has to do with real circumstances, not the lies you believe in. Furthermore, you don't understand what that's about. That is in regards to them and where they are at. They, you know, the point is if they had passed on anything at this point, this would already be finished. So, all you got to do is look at the circumstances I describe, and it takes 2 seconds to understand my fucking the FBI here. The reality is they could free me tomorrow. I should have been freed 22 years ago at this point. 22. And there wouldn't be a problem or an issue. But since you believe all the lies they've sold here, I can't change that. But their lies does not change where I am at. So that's why they've put themselves into a corner here, and they've created their own mess. I can't change that. That's on all of you. That's not my fucking problem. So I will be getting my name, my books, and my channels out, and that's going to be it. So that's, again, the FBI's problem. But once they start coming at me for starting to live my life here, and based on lies they're selling you, that's the entire point. That's the one I get and they get that you do not. This will be simply about appearances for you to keep you tricked. This is how it's been the entire step and way here. The real point and my mental marker for Tina and you all going along with her being murdered, I think it was March of 2023. I think it was March. It was March or April. Maybe it was February. I'll look again. No, I won't, actually. It's beside the point. My mental marker for that, as they found out while I'm doing the video here, my mental marker for that is you and your agency are just going to remain tricked based on that one thing alone. There is no waking you up. So, and furthermore, I see it because you haven't even looked at bare basics here. You haven't done anything from the ground up, no nothing. You are swallowing lies the same way my parents and my sister do. You literally are on the same level as my sister in regards to how you view me in regards to agents and agencies. And there's very little difference on that one. And you're on the same level as my parents. The comparison is actually, it's almost exactly the same as my parents. There's almost no difference, really. Just who you are and the circumstances. Really, I could switch you, and there is no difference. If I'm telling the truth, then they are telling you extreme lies. You quite literally could take any single day here that they lie to your face and look at it from the viewpoint, well, if he's telling the truth and they're lying to me, then you could analyze how they're lying to you. I mean, it falls down very easily in 100 different ways here, and you haven't done any of it. Just like my parents here. So that's it. I got to get going here. I got real life to deal with, not your fantasy land.